Board of Health. Today is, somebody help me, March 5th, 2018. It is now 6 p.m. and I shall call this meeting to order. Item number 2 on the agenda, anything to add or subtract?
I don't believe so.
Any minutes to approve?
No, we'll have minutes for the next meeting.
Okay. And we have a hearing scheduled also at 6 p.m. Hearing to review the declaration of unfit for human habitation for Urin Terrace.
Thank you. Thank you for presenting that. I would just like to recognize that we have the Animal Control Officer, Amy Contois, the Assistant Health Director, Eileen Alexander, of course, Paula Conway, our Administrative Assistant, and this is a hearing regarding 4 Huron Terrace. I do see the property owners.
No, I think it just opened it, yeah.
I'm sorry. I do see the property owners, Mr. and Mrs. Anger, are here in the front row. So thank you for coming. This hearing is for a property that the Board of Health had received a complaint on. It was an anonymous complaint regarding sanitary conditions and animals at this property. I believe that the animal control officer and myself had received it last week, and from that time we reviewed the records that we had on file. The animal control department had this property on file for complaints that we had received in the past. So as part of our investigation, we reviewed the file, and an inspection was made with joint departments, including the Auburn Police Department, DDIS with Animal Control, Building, Board of Health at the property. The inspection revealed some very immediate concerns when we were in the property. There was a very overpowering smell of pet urine and throughout the dwelling and the basement. There were concerns that we saw for the animals and the feces, urine on the floor. There were a large amount of belongings blocking egresses. There was overall a concern throughout the house. In the bathroom, there was some caving in of the floor. We did take some photos of the house that may help describe some of these things that I'm talking about. The house is a single-family house. It's a ranch-style house, and it's one floor with a basement under. This will show the exterior of the house, and then it moves to some pictures of the outside of the house with debris, some broken furniture, some electronics, pallets, old trash. The inside will show the inside of the dwelling, making it very hard to move around in the house. So there are pathways that are blocked in concern for the people being able to move around freely. Obviously, that concern elevates if there is the need for a first responder to come to the home to perform any emergency services. So this goes through and shows the different areas. I'm happy to explain each one as we go through. The kitchen facilities were very degraded. There's a lot of missing cabinets on the kitchen cabinets. The doors and the drawers are covered with food and just to the point where there's no really sanitary area for food prep. The toilet area has what appears to be a sunken floor, so the toilet is not actually on a stable base. The floor is rotted out. The bedrooms are hard to get into, to navigate, to move around. Obviously, the concern again, if first responders have to try to get into those areas for saving anybody. There were animals and litter boxes, pee pads, urine pads throughout the dwelling that were soiled, feces on the floor. There was what appeared to be an area for either a smoke or a carbon monoxide detector, and some screws left in the ceiling, but there wasn't any detector there. So obviously if there was a fire, there's no notification, no means of notification for waking anybody up, and then again blocked egresses. So it's this is a sampling of the pictures that we took on that day.
Okay.
Additionally, we also have the building department. The building department had also issued a separate order for the concerns that he had. Many of them actually overlap the Board of Health order, but there are, just to be clear, 3 separate orders.
Didn't get a picture of the basement underneath the toilet, did you?
I didn't, but that is the
You can see
area
it there.
Yeah.
behind the toilet.
Okay.
It is, the area was rotted out.
Mhm.
The building commissioner did observe that area,
Mhm.
looked at it, and cited it in his report as well.
This picture here, this is of
That's a bedroom.
a bedroom.
Same room.
This is the same room?
Same room, yes,
Okay.
different angle. It was difficult to get through the hallway to get to that bedroom, and it was difficult to get into the bedroom. That photograph is from the basement. And that photograph has the area from the living room into the hallway blocked. And that's a picture of the postings from both the Board of Health and the Building Department. So the orders were issued and were sent out to the property owners. And the property owners are aware of the orders and have also taken steps to, since that time, to contact a company to try to remediate the situation. So we do have information I can certainly provide to you when you're ready. However, the hearing obviously is to support or deny the determination that was made out in the field for the unfit for human habitation.
How did you have to enter this residence? Any special precautions that you needed to take at all, or?
Yes, the staff that went into the house were wearing personal protective equipment, including like a head-to-toe Tyvek suit with boot covers and face masks.
Okay.
The odor inside the dwelling was very overpowering, and we were not able to go in without wearing masks and breathing normally.
Any other questions for?
I saw that picture with the front door, and then you couldn't kind of get into the other door. Was there another door as well?
So this is the
Yeah.
picture of the front door. There is a
Right.
side door
Okay.
to the left of the property that actually comes in through the kitchen.
So like this one, and then you can't really get into the house from that door.
So
And
this
where
actually is within the dwelling. So this
Okay.
is the living room, and this area would
Oh, I
be
see.
connected to the hallway.
Gotcha.
And the
Okay, so
area
it's not
leading to the
in door.
bedrooms.
Okay.
I can show you actually, this actually is the second door.
I
This
see.
door is on the side,
I
on the
see.
left side of the house, and this actually enters into the kitchen area.
I see. You just said it was the hallway, it was hard to maneuver in the hallway to get to the other rooms.
Yes.
Concern for the first responders.
So that door is actually to the right of the
Okay.
stove.
Anyone from the audience that has any evidence they would like to present to the board for consideration?
Am I understanding right that we're paying to have these guys go in and do all the things you asked, and you still want to destroy a house? Is that what you're saying?
No, sir, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm sorry,
What is this
would
meeting
you,
about? What is the final goal?
could you, for the record, just identify yourself?
I'm the owner of the property.
Richard Anger?
Yes.
Thank you.
What is the goal of this meeting?
The purpose of the meeting is to validate the Director of Public Health's determination that the house is unfit for human habitation as it was found on the 27th of February. I believe the letter, you have a receipt and copy of that, kind of outlined, and we can get into more detail in regards to after the board makes a determination.
Well, we tried to meet all your requirements with that company. We went through everything, so we're praying everything come out good. and we can go back in.
So you have contacted a company
Yeah,
to...
24 trauma.
$14,000 later, yes.
And he's going through all the things that you asked for to fix.
Do you have a record of that contact from
So,
them?
thank you, Mr. Anger. The company, 24 Trauma, a representative from that company, reached out to us last week. And we actually, several of us met that representative and the Angers over there last Friday.
Okay.
I think they had reached out on Thursday, and we tried to make ourselves available for Friday, and it actually worked out. So Board of Health, Animal Control, and Building all met over at the property. We actually went into the property with the Angers, provided permission for a representative from this cleaning company, professional cleaning company that deals with this type of matter, and they went through to do an assessment of the property to see what needed to be done. So that did occur on Friday, and I believe over the weekend the company had reached out and said that they had been contracted by the Angers. I haven't talked to the Angers, but it sounds like they
started today. They did quite a job today already.
so they
And we still owe another $14,000.
so they had contacted me by email over the weekend and identified that they are intending on moving forward with cleaning and basically looking for what the requirements are going to be. So that is, we're obviously thrilled to hear that. We don't have a plan of what they're going to do. I think they're just putting that together. We've asked for basically just an outline of what they're going to do and approximately how long they think that it's going to take. My understanding of this company is that they're able to address these type of concerns and do it in a quick manner. But I don't, what their quick means, I don't know if that's, 2 days, 2 weeks, I'm not sure. So I did request some information from the representative, and this morning, I believe Amy had spoken with a representative from the company, and they were going to get that information together and get back in touch with us.
Are they able to, there were a few other items here as well on page 2, specifically the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, structural elements, and owner installation and maintenance responsibility, specifically with the number of extension cords being used. Are they able to talk to or address any of the structural concerns of the building?
So they did request copies of the orders. So I did provide copies of all 3 orders to them. They haven't asked any specific questions regarding that. So again, without having any sort of written plan or contract from them, I'm not sure what items they're going to address. But certainly we have requested just kind of an overview, of what they're going to do, how long it's going to take, and hopefully, we can figure out what's going to be addressed and if there's going to be anything that would remain for, anything that doesn't get done. Obviously, we want the property cleaned, but we need all of the the life safety concerns addressed as well before I would feel comfortable allowing, the owners to go back in. And then today, I did also just want to offer to you, I did receive an email today in regards to this hearing. They wanted to comments from Ian and Sean Adams. I received this email to me this morning at approximately about 10 o'clock. So I have copies for you. Again, I would have provided, it just came in today, so. They just wanted their voice to be heard at this hearing. And certainly we can enter it into the minutes. I'm happy to read it
Okay.
if you wish.
Any other evidence to be presented to the board? Yes, sir.
Can we ask, is that something bad against us with these people?
No, it's actually a very good testimonial by Ms. Adams in regards to the dog that she purchased from you. But this talks about your love and care for the animals. She, unfortunately didn't. She said that the house smelled like animals lived there, which was not maligning you in any way, but just it was more of a testimony to your dedication to the animals. So.
I have to say, my wife loves animals. I mean,
The
I
point
got
where
carried away,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
My
But
fault.
what we're
My
looking
bad.
at is again, it's a very nice testimonial, but we're looking specifically at the conditions of the house. So,
My concern that the crew is going in there and they have, they're able to throw away mattresses even if they're clean. They're able to just, everything goes. And we're not allowed in the house. And, I've lived there my whole life.
mm,
And there was baby gates that were up that could be taken down because, the puppies were in my room and the mothers of the puppies were in my room. So we had the baby gate there in front of the bedroom so the other dogs couldn't go in there. So it wasn't, structurally, blocked. It's just a baby gate. So.
But they've been very good. He tells us if there's something we want to say, he's been very good. They're very, very
The
good.
company.
Professional.
And just to that point, and to Mrs. Andrews' point, the board, in conjunction with the building department, has posted the property, so nobody's allowed to go in without, obviously, the permission of the town for health and safety reasons. So the professional company that they are referring to, obviously, we went to the property for that purpose on Friday, but at this point, the determination has been made, and we want to get the situation remediated so that the Andrews can get back into their property. But obviously, we want it to be a safe environment for them.
absolutely.
Yes, and go ahead.
Your name, sir?
Donald Pybus. My father bought that house in 1953. He had it built. And my family has lived there ever since. And I beg the mercy of the board to help my sister.
Just as a point of clarification through the chairman, there was never any determination of this house being demolished.
No.
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 Okay.
That was said to us.
Okay.
No.
Well, I don't.
I did not.
Maybe we should clarify that now,
Yeah.
because I can sense that you folks are very concerned about that. I picked up on that, Mr. Andrew, when you first said that. And now, sir, after you had mentioned that, and in reading all of these orders, that was never a part of this.
But it was in the
You-
verbal
uh,
conversation.
Through the chair, can the inspector comment on that at all, or
Yeah.
director, I'm sorry?
That's not something that, that I've ever said.
I mean, granted, in some extreme cases with significant and serious structural damages, some facilities, some buildings may be declared to the point where they would have to be raised, but from the reports and the evidence that I see here, there seems to be some minor issues in the bathroom that need to be addressed,
Thank you, amen.
but nothing to the extent that I would expect any kind of demolition order to ever. I think if the evidence, to me,
Right.
does not appear to be that significant. You
Thank
know,
you.
there are certain health hazards,
Yeah.
there's some life safety hazards here, but certainly I'm not a building inspector, I'm not on the building department, but from a Board of Health standpoint, I don't see where any of these conditions that have been outlined on this order could not easily be remediated. As you had mentioned, there's some cost, obviously, but
And myself and my family and friends, they are more than willing to help.
But again, I don't see anything in the reports here that is suggesting or that the condition of the house would be anywhere near that stage. So
No.
just to relieve that stress from you at this point, this is not a hearing to determine that at all. Again, this hearing is to make a determination, is this order going to stand, or if we're going to vacate it. And did you have any questions in regards to the orders? You've been in touch with Darlene in the office, you've been in touch with the cleaning service.
I haven't been in, I have medication in the house that I need to get in and get.
Mhm.
I wasn't able to go in and get my Bible. My daughter had to buy me clothes. I was told I had to leave with what I had on my back.
Okay.
Speak to that.
Yeah, if you could.
At the time that the determination was made, we did give the Andrews a chance to get out their belongings.
Mhm.
They did have some family members that came for support to take out what they needed. We certainly, that's the first I've heard that she's
Okay.
not able to get medications. I mean, certainly we wouldn't disallow her from
Mhm.
doing that, but obviously that has to be coordinated through our office and the police. But they did have a chance to take out items, and actually last Friday, I allowed, Mr. Andra actually had asked me if he could go in to get a Bible, and I did allow him to go
Find
in
it.
for 2 minutes to try to look for the Bible, but he couldn't find
Thank
it.
you.
Is that
That was
correct?
very nice.
Yeah. So I respectfully understand what you're saying, but I've tried to make as much accommodation that I can for you to get out your personal needs. If you need to get anything further, certainly we can have, we can coordinate that with the
Mhm.
police
Mhm.
for them to get what they need, but there was a time that they were allowed to do that.
Okay, I was told that I could come back the next day with a police officer and I would be allowed in the house. And when I got there, the chief of police and another officer said, you can't go in.
I'm not aware of that,
No, I'm just
ma'am.
Okay.
saying. So, I mean, you're saying that and they're saying something else.
Yeah.
And again, if we
You know,
did,
I just
We-
want you to know.
and certainly, I can't speak for other departments, but
Right,
we
but
did make that
The
accommodation.
the order placed here is by Darlene Coyle, Board of Health Director, and the building code. So I would first start with the building department and Darlene, and I would assume then you would coordinate with the police as necessary for any future. All right. Barring any further questions.
And that day that I was told to leave, it was more important to me to take care of my dogs and the puppies and the kittens and make sure that they had, they were less traumatized as necessary, because I refused to leave with them there. I refused. They could have taken me out in handcuffs.
Jean is so courageous. She
Doesn't matter.
stood the whole time and tagged each animal with the weight, the type, all the information. It was just
They were
tremendous.
born at my house. They were born at my house, okay? So we have 4 generations, and they're my family.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Any other evidence to present? I'll take a motion to close the evidentiary and discussion.
Make a motion to close the evidentiary and discussion portion of the hearing.
Second?
And all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I'll open to any comments from the audience. Pretty much here. Homeowners, anyone else, any comments?
I'll ask a question. My name's Sheila Orsi. I'm one of Jean's oldest daughters. Do we have to come back and have another hearing in order to be able to reestablish residency? Is that how that works, or is that just through, I don't know what the next phase is, once we realize we're back up and ready to open again, whenever that is, whether it's a week or 2 or a month, what's the next step to be able to get them back into their residence?
Darlene, could you address that,
Sure.
please?
Great question.
Thanks.
So the, obviously having the company, the professional cleaning company involved, once their scope of what they're going to do and the timeline that they're going to do it, once they actually start doing the remediation, we're going to be coordinating with them. There's going to be some permits that may be required through building, but obviously we would work with them. We've already corresponded, I think, with a couple of the reps, Mike and Tom, I think. So we will work with them, and we'll move this along as quickly as possible. Our ultimate goal is to get, get the violations remediated and to get an inspection to go in there to make sure that everything is done. So once everything is done, a hearing is not required to
Okay.
get your folks back in.
Sure.
But it would be more so the town sign-offs to say that the orders have been satisfied.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Is that?
And I just wanted to, because I just want you to know the truth. The truth is that my 37-year-old daughter and her 2 kids came to us. They're homeless, and she threatened to do this. She threatened to do this if I stopped giving her money. So hasn't worked for 4 years, and
That's okay. That's a different story. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
It
confusing.
has no bearing
It's
on the
confusing.
house.
Yeah.
Is there another hand in the back row?
Oh, my question was just...
Sorry, your name, sir?
Oh, Mike Anger. I'm there. So, just to help clarify for my parents, like, the cleaning crew just cleans, like, from what I understand, they're gonna clean the apartment, right? So when the house, when that's done, do they still need to, like, obviously the structural things need to be fixed, but then from the order that I read, it looked like the cabinets, all the cabinets would be taken out, maybe some of the things in the bathroom would be taken out. So do those facilities have to be fully functional for them to be able to go back into? So they're looking at new cabinets and possibly, the bathroom, a new bathroom, possibly a new bathroom as well. So
Sure, great questions.
Yeah.
So obviously to allow the owners back in to be able to utilize you're going to need a functioning kitchen, functioning bathroom. So, we wouldn't want to put the owners back into a house that doesn't meet the needs. So obviously,
These fellas have already said they're gonna do all that, they've got it all planned.
Okay.
And I had taken the doors off the cabinets because I was going to paint.
She was gonna paint them.
It was going to be yellow.
Sounds like a good color. So obviously, we would want to make sure that, again, without having a written scope of what that company is going to do, I think it might be a little bit easier if, once we know what they're doing, then it might answer some of these questions as well.
Okay, so in regards to the order for as unfit for human habitation,
Yes, I'll make a motion to sustain the order as written by the Director of Public Health.
I second the motion.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. So basically, the board has agreed with our Director of Public Health that there is some issues at the home that need to be addressed. It sounds like you've already been very proactive in trying to meet the orders that were given to you earlier. Again, the board is not in any intention of having the home raised. It was more of a sanitary concern, some life safety concerns.
Thank you.
The electrical, the smoke detectors, the egress, as well as some structural concerns as noted in the bathroom. Keeping in touch with Darlene at the office if you have any questions. The contractor, I'm sure, as they have already been in touch. And hopefully everything goes smoothly for you.
Absolutely.
Motion to close the hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
And then make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.